Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining for this week's Why We Do This Wednesdays. I'm your guest interviewer. You can call me Slice, and we're here with the man, the myth, the legend, Versatile. So, we'll keep this interview short, so we have some content for later on. But I would like to ask you, when you make music, where do you pull inspiration from?
Hey, Slice. That's a great question. I pull inspiration from everywhere. The cliche answer is life. The more you're going through stuff, the more you have to talk about. But also through practice. Sometimes you're just not feeling it and then just keep doing it and doing it, even when you're not really locked in. Then eventually something breaks through and you're able to pull something out that you didn't have before. And also from listening to music, of course.
Okay, so you subscribe to the 10,000 hours makes someone a master, I would say.
10,000 hours makes you a good beginner.
I'm sure a bunch of masters would agree. All right. Second, who are some of your favorite artists, either now or all time?
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many. I'll name the biggest ones that kind of come to mind. Right off the jump, I'm a big Bone Thugs and Harmony and Wu-Tang Clan fan. Always have been. Those are the ones that I was definitely most locked in. But being from Queens, also a lot of Mobb Deep I go back to. Nas, of course. So many, More recently, I do like the Kendricks, but I'm kind of a slow adapter. I hate to admit it. People been on the way for 5 years, and then it's finally when I drop in and I listen to the album. More of the old school, the big puns, the big L's, real East Coast, Beast Coast. A lot of influence in that direction.
Fair enough. I can relate to having more people having a discography that's longer. It's like TV shows I want to binge watch.
Yeah.
All right. What is a live performance of yours that stands out to you the most?
Live performance. Done a lot over the years. My favorite one, actually. So years ago, at least 10 years, maybe a little bit more now. Rap Republic, we did a show as a group at this old bar in Glens Falls, New York that was about to close down called Hot Shots. Anybody that knows from that area, that place used to get crazy. And it must have been the last week, maybe even the last night that they were open. And it was just a hot summer night. There was 200 something people in that bar that might have fit 150, but there was 200 people spilling on the street. And we were one of the last slots up for the night, and we just rocked it. And why I loved it so much is we performed a song called For the Bass Heads, and it was real jazzy, but it was still very much hip hop. And as we got off the stage, everybody was cheering us on. It was, of course, that's a good feeling. But when we got to the front of the venue, the main people that were screaming for the bass heads were, middle-aged people that were from the country. They just loved it. They thought it was funky. They thought it was jazzy. And they were just screaming for the bass heads for the rest of the night. And for that, just because it was hip hop in that kind of atmosphere, that one always is remembered to me as one of my favorite, that atmosphere, the weather, the vibe. That's probably my favorite one.
Definitely. It's something special to see people who you wouldn't expect enjoying something you create.
Yeah. Especially, they're probably listening to Jason Aldean or something, you know what I mean? But for that night, they were bumping for the bass heads.
That had to be a good feeling. So we talked about your live performance. What music project do you think was the hardest for you to complete?
This one is tough because, as a lot of people know, maybe not everybody in the audience, obviously, I don't just rap and make my own songs, but I'm also part of a group, and I also engineer other people's music. And a lot of the times I have creative input. So it's not just me writing myself. In fact, sometimes those are the easiest projects because it's just me with a pen, and I know what I want to do, and I know how to record and mix myself, and I know how to put it out, right? So, and like we talked about a second ago, writer's block, just keep writing until you unblock it. So some of the group projects are difficult. I would say, funny enough, the latest project we're releasing, The Pandemic Takes 1 and 2, I think that one was difficult in the finishing of it. Now getting it all ready and everything for release, because it sat for years and I had to kind of revive it and find the life in it again when we recorded it during those pandemic years where we were building a studio and everything, and then everything just kind of went kind of cold. So that one has probably been the hardest, just bringing it back to life.
It's understandable. Trying to resuscitate something that was probably not as much of a timepiece as in you're not making speakeasy music, but it was very much a product of its time.
Of its time, right. And it's still fire, but it was just getting myself back into that time to re-experience it and get it together.
Definitely. As the engineer, you probably have a specific feeling you want, and to recapture it, it's difficult to get back into that mind space.
Right. Or even as an artist, you know, like just how we thought of the songs or felt of the songs. You know, it's different when you write it and you get in the booth and boom, that's it. But when you have the tracks kind of there, but they're not polished, maybe one's missing a hook, maybe one needs dubs, years later, revisiting it can be difficult, but we got through it. Oh, and also the ones, getting rid of some of the songs that we didn't want to keep. You know, not everything you record, you put out, but we loved all of them, but some of them just, you know, and also rights, you know, some we couldn't get cleared or whatever. So you got to do what you got to do. So, but I'd say maybe that one. I'd say that one was harder than even when we did the 100 and 100 years ago, because that was just a marathon. That one wasn't about polish. It was just one after the other, after the other, after the other, when we did the 100 songs in 100 days. But I'd still put Pandemic Tapes 1 and 2, I think, at least as right now, more difficult.
Understandable. And we both know I could grill you for ages, but we'll keep the segment short.
Yeah, next one, man. I love this.
If you wouldn't mind, obviously, you know, we have a different segment, Acapella Mondays.
Yeah.
Would you like to give us just something kind of short?
Absolutely.
Give the listener something to...
Absolutely. I got some bars to that ass. It's going to be a cold winter. I don't mean to be vicious, but no more pep talks or paid for beats or free mixes. When I write eclipses, your weak lyrics, y'all ain't no threats. At best, y'all some mean bitches. Kick you in the air like a hacky sack. You wanted smoke with verse, but you ain't have the rap. Understand, time is sand, flowing through glass. I've always been fly. I'm just trying to land. You wanted gas, grab a can. I'm at the spot, hot as fuck, in a mask with a blam. I'll turn your live feed into a puzzle on the gram. What's up, son? You trying to tussle a jam? You can catch the butt of this gun in my hand. Said you was active, now you don't want to dance. Now you don't want beef, I know, cause you don't have a chance, you pussy. I'll stick dick all in your plans. You're soft like Hyman, dash like hyphen. When the drama hits, thought you was a shit till the talent collided. And we really got to rhyme, and now you're realizing you're not built for this. It's gonna be a cold winter.
Good house.